Live from Arkansas' streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
I just need to get more
Good morning. We are
information
so
from
glad
her.
you're here on THV 11 Plus. I'm Karen Fuller. Happy 4th of July.
I'm meteorologist Tracy Bean.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Ashley King. Hayden Balgavy is off today. It's just the ladies this morning.
It's Girls Morning Out, GMO.
That's
Girls
right.
morning in.
Yeah, that's true. I'd like to be out. It looks beautiful outside for this 4th of July holiday.
It is a typical July 4th weather, I think. So, and I always like to be a little positive spin on things. It could be so much hotter.
Oh,
And
yes.
it could be so much hotter. So I think even with the heat and humidity we have right now, it's gonna be a good
Anybody
day.
heading to a lake?
Good day.
She is.
Oh,
Yes.
Ashley King.
That's right.
Oh.
I'm going to be headed to Goose Ferry Lake. That's what Hayden is doing.
Yeah.
Hayden is lake doing the lake thing
Our
today.
producer,
Yeah.
Peyton Rayford,
Yeah.
just bragged that
Yep.
he'll be on a lake. Which one, Peyton?
I think he's a Lake Hamilton guy.
Hamilton.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's right.
I'm headed to a pool. We have
That
some.
counts.
Yeah, we have some friends, the Howards, and we always go hang out with them. Usually on 4th of July. And
I'm working.
yeah, I'll be here through the noon show though, so I'll be here for a little while.
Yes, you will. Actually, I am not working this weekend, but we'll spend it somewhere cool
Right.
because it is a little warm, but it's not that awful humidity and dew point that we've had
No,
in
not
the
at all.
past days.
And we don't have awful traffic this morning
Right.
either, which is a good thing. Even for those that are going to be traveling maybe a little road trip to those destinations like Lake Hamilton and other areas, it looks pretty nice. Look at this. It is 7:02 and look how light our traffic is going across the I-30 bridge right now. This is the River Bridge with just a beautiful sunrise. It's that golden hour right now, which my daughters tell me is the perfect time to take a selfie. So it looks really, really nice right now, and no problems really. If you do have to work today, like that we're doing here at THV 11 to keep you informed on what's going on, as you can see, just a lot of green across the state. Here in the metro, no problems as you're heading into downtown Little Rock from the metro areas. But let's talk about the people that are off today and they've got places to be so they can watch fireworks or celebrate. If you're going to Branson, right now if you leave, it's nice. It'll take you under 3 hours, 2 hours and 58 minutes to get to Branson. Lake Hamilton, just a 59-minute drive from downtown Little Rock. And if you're going to Heber Springs, Goose Ferry Lake, I put in Dam Site Marina to see exactly how long it would take you to get there. 1 hour and 10 minutes, which is really good because a lot of times from downtown Little Rock, it can take you up to an hour and a half to get there. So we'll see those travel times, I'm sure, increase as people are getting up. It's one of those lazy days for a lot of people where they're sleeping in. So these travel times will increase, and I'm sure the traffic will really pick up a little bit later on, but we're going to keep an eye on it. And if you are going somewhere, I'd love to know. You can send us a text right here at 501-376-1111 and let me know where that's going to be. Maybe it's to a pool like Tracy is going to be going today. Hey, Tracy.
Hey there, we are looking at July 4th, which of course it's always warm and you never really know, as you can see from our graph here, exactly what it's going to be. It could be in the 80s, it could be 104 like it was back in 1963. We did have 103 back in 2012, but I think for the most part, we're really just looking at kind of an average of those mid 90s or so, and that's what we're expecting today for that high. So last year we did see that 2024, it was really close, it was 99, so we are not at that, thank goodness. So we're going to continue to see those temperatures warming up, and that 4th of July weekend forecast could include a few isolated storms, but that shouldn't impact your days too much. Now, keep in mind though, if you're going to be on the lakes or maybe in the pools or just outside having a good time, if you hear thunder, even if you don't see lightning, make sure you get off the water, get inside, and just make sure you're staying safe because that lightning can travel quite a ways. So we are looking at those temperatures in the mid 90s, but the isolated storms, again, very, very isolated. Not too worried about that. As we're heading into Sunday evening, we could see those storms start to get a little bit more widespread, and we're going to continue to see that humidity really start to ramp up as we're heading into mid to next week as well. It's just kind of slowly making its way up. We're still under that heat advisory category, but it could easily bump up there. But even at this level, we still need to make sure that we are staying hydrated. Don't forget about the pets and just take some time to listen to your body and the others as well. Just make sure you're drinking that water because even with this caution precautionary time frame of like a temperature of 100, give or take, is what it feels like, it's still going to be a possibility of that heat illness. So make sure you're staying safe. Overall, though, I think we're going to have a good time if you're headed out to float. Again, stay off the Ouachita today. By tomorrow, it'll be much, much better. But here's a couple of look at those river levels. So stay safe, and again, make sure you have a good time, and we'll have more information on your weekend weather coming up.
Happening today, President Trump is planning to sign the One Big Beautiful Bill Act just passed by Congress yesterday. After the vote victory, he traveled to Iowa to deliver a speech at the state fair. The bill wraps up months of intense debate on Capitol Hill. CBS reporter Erica Brown breaks down what's in the package and what comes next.
Speaking at the Iowa State Fairgrounds Thursday, President Trump took a victory lap after the House passed his signature spending bill that extends tax cuts and slashes social benefits programs.
There could be no better birthday present for America than the phenomenal victory we achieved just hours ago when Congress passed the One Big Beautiful Bill to make America great again.
The president plans to sign the One Big Beautiful Bill Act at a White House ceremony on the 4th of July. Congress passed the measure in a 218 to 214 vote, with all Democrats and 2 Republicans voting against the bill.
The motion is adopted.
House Speaker Mike Johnson said President Trump was engaged throughout the negotiations to get key Republican holdouts on board.
He helped answer questions and articulate his vision and what this bill will mean for the country.
Democratic House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries slammed the legislation during a record-breaking floor speech lasting more than 8.5 hours.
This disgusting abomination is not about improving the quality of life of the American people.
The bill significantly boosts spending for border security, immigration enforcement, and defense, and extends President Trump's 2017 tax cuts and increases the child tax credit. It also ends taxes on tips and overtime pay. In opposition to the bill, Democrats cited steep cuts to safety net programs, including SNAP, the Food Assistance Program, and Medicaid. And the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill will add more than $3 trillion to the deficit. Erica Brown, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
The bill faces the most backlash over planned changes to Medicaid. The Congressional Budget Office projects that work requirements will shrink Medicaid enrollment by 12 million people over the next decade. Progressive groups across Arkansas, such as Arkansas Advocates for Children and Families, have been sounding the alarm for weeks, warning these cuts could have devastating effects on their clients.
Let's say your community is losing, I don't know, $10 million or $100 million of Medicaid funding. That really is going to hurt local hospitals especially hard.
The advocacy group created this detailed map showing how those Congressional Budget Office projections could impact Arkansas counties individually. Meantime, the Arkansas Food Bank criticizes the bill, saying tighter federal food assistance rules will increase pressure on local food pantries that are already struggling to meet demand. A former Arkansas doctor already facing felony fraud charges and more than 150 civil lawsuits has been arrested again. Brian Hyatt now faces a charge of drunk driving while awaiting his October trial for allegedly defrauding Medicaid. Prosecutors want the court now to tighten his bond conditions, banning alcohol and requiring a breath test device in his vehicle. Police say Hyatt had an open container in his car and refused a chemical test during his recent arrest. A hearing on the prosecution's request is scheduled for July 11th. Attorney General Tim Griffin is suing 2 companies alleging they violated Arkansas's Deceptive Trade Practices Act. He says Bolts Steel Furniture committed false advertising after 33 customers say they were scammed out of more than $27,000. He also filed a suit against the now closed Community Builders. Customers say 3-month bathroom remodels stretched far beyond 3 months, and one person reported being harassed after speaking up. Griffin also says elderly Arkansans were among the victims, losing as much as $17,000. Time now 7:10. Crime in Little Rock is trending in a good direction. City leaders report historic reductions in both overall and violent crime, thanks to coordinated efforts that go beyond just policing. THV 11's Tamer Knight has more on the city's holistic approach to public safety. Good morning, Tamer.
Well, good morning, Karen. Little Rock's Mayor Frank Scott Jr. says it's more than just policing that's helping reduce crime. He credits the youth programs, mental health resources, and ensuring officers are visible in the community that is helping to tackle the root causes of crime. The latest crime data shows overall crime in Little Rock is down 16% so far this year and down 19% over the last 5 years. Violent crime is also down 5% year to date and 12% lower than 5 years ago. Mayor Frank Scott says these numbers are no accident. He credits a holistic crime reduction approach, a partnership between his administration and Little Rock Police that has targeted patrols in high crime areas with community programs focused on prevention, intervention, and treatment.
I could share the statistics all day, but it's about addressing the feeling of safety. And so we want to continue to focus on that, and that's the reason why we continue to have more officers on the streets to show that we are there to be helpful, there to secure our city so we can be a prosperous city.
Now, that includes programs like Midnight Basketball, the Summer Youth Employment Initiative, and an emphasis on mental health and social work support inside the police department, the first of its kind in Arkansas. The city has also cracked down on caravanning and drag racing, deploying a team of officers to target illegal activities that tied to those incidents. Now, city officials say it's not just about reducing crime, it's about rebuilding trust and making sure every resident feels safer where they live. Tamer Knight, THV 11 News.
We hope the trend continues. Thank you, Tamer. An Arkadelphia woman is sharing a warning after a bizarre close call. Get this, Jennifer Johnson left her freshly dried laundry in her car. She planned to fold it later. Well, hours later, smoke began coming through the sunroof. Her laundry was literally smoldering. She put out the fire and says she won't make that mistake again.
I'm never leaving laundry inside I will take the time to take it out, and at the laundromat, I'm gonna take the time to aerate it more, make sure it loses some of that heat, so that way I can prevent any type of fires.
The Arkadelphia Fire Chief, Andy Neal, says this is a rare incident, but it is not unheard of. Trapped heat and flammable residues together can spark fires in things like bundled up clothing. Experts recommend letting laundry cool and sort of breathe after drying, and always washing items thoroughly. Who knew that could happen?
I've heard of it before, not often.
I thought it was the heat from the sun, but it's really the two combustibles together, the flammability of the items.
Yeah. That's insane. It's not something you would think about as you're coming home from a laundromat. That
or
it
think
could cause
you'll
fire.
see it in your sunroof.
Yeah, well, and you know, like even at home when you take it out of the dryer and maybe you don't get to it, you know, immediately. I'm always kind of surprised how warm it still is in the middle of all that.
Static electricity that you see the sparks sometimes.
So add in the heat from a car and just everything kind of smoldering together. Yeah, it can happen, which is kind of crazy.
Something else I've never thought about too. One of our coworkers, a friend of ours, there was a water bottle, like a big water jug on her back deck that the sun was shining and caused a fire. From the water jug.
The glare.
Yeah, the glare.
I've heard of that.
Like a magnifying glass.
Was it the deck that
the
wood on the deck
fire?
caught
Yes,
fire?
because of the water jug, and so that's why a lot of times you see the green water jugs now.
Sure.
Instead of the clear
did the
ones.
water put out the fire?
It did not. No, it really caused a lot of damage.
Safety is paramount especially today, 4th of
hot
July.
summer days.
Yes, with
never
fireworks and such.
Yeah, but safety is important too when you're traveling. And this morning, we're not seeing a whole lot of traffic. You know, people at least going to work. There are a lot of people that are off today. with it being the July 4th holiday. But right now we're looking at I-57. This is near the Highway 5 exit in Cabot, where they are doing some construction overnight in this area. So you're going to see some lane changes. You're seeing the orange barrels. So just be careful. This is the exit that a lot of people take as they're heading to Heber Springs. You know, there are a couple of different ways you can go. You can go this way through Cabot, or you can go through Conway. It's, I think people just kind of have their preference of the way that they like to go. But if you are going Highway 5, just be aware on I-57, there are some lane changes there that could slow you down a little bit. But we're seeing traffic is moving nice and steady this morning across the metro. Really no issues. So it looks like it's a pretty nice morning. Just a lot of people off of work. So as far as coming into downtown Little Rock to go to your workplaces or wherever that is that you usually go in the morning. School is out right now, so it's not that, but it's just a nice light drive right now. We were looking at some drive times, though, to some of those destinations that are very popular as far as taking little road trips for the 4th of July, and it hasn't really budged at all. I keep checking, and if you're going to Branson, and I'm looking at drive times from downtown Little Rock, it would take you 2 hours and 58 minutes. Anytime it takes under 3 hours to get to Branson is always nice, and I'm sure throughout the day that will pick up. Lake Hamilton, it's just a 59-minute drive right now, and if you're going to Heber Springs, remember there is some construction in that area and some lane changes, but to Greers Ferry Lake, it will take you 1 hour and 10 minutes if you're going in that direction. This is, again, if you're going through Cabot. So yeah, it looks pretty nice right now, Tracy. Pretty much like the weather, nice traffic. You really can't beat it. Hopefully it'll stay that way.
Yeah, it is. And we are looking overall at a nice holiday weekend, but we do have the chance for a few of those pop-up storms. And with a lot of folks being outside, of course, I think most everyone's going to be outside, whether you're on the lake, maybe by the pool, or just kind of hanging out together outside. We do have some of those storms. We could have some lightning. So let's talk about a little lightning safety here. Lightning is the biggest hazard of all the thunderstorms, and it can cause that thunder. So one of those things kind of to make a little fun thing, lightning causes thunder. When thunder roars, go indoors. So again, just because you don't see the lightning doesn't mean it is not possible. So the highest chances of it getting struck, it's before the storm or when the storm develops over you or after the storm passes. So pretty much what I get from this is pretty much the whole time. So as we're looking at the odds of being struck over the last 80 years, 1 out of 15,300. Now that seems like a lot until it isn't. And so again, it certainly can happen. We see it happen all the time. So this is that common rule. I think this is probably the most important thing to think about, especially with everyone out on the lakes and outside. It's the common 30-30 rule. So you do hear the thunder, maybe you don't see the lightning. So let's count the number of seconds between the lightning flash and the thunder. If it's less than 30 seconds, get to safety, and then you're going to stay there for 30 minutes. And so that's just kind of a good rule of thumb. But you can also download that THV 11 app, and that way you can see hour by hour what we're expecting, and also you can kind of watch that radar as well. It's also good to know, especially what areas you're going to, maybe what counties you're going to be in, because if we do have something pop up like a watch or a warning, we tell you by county usually. So it's good to know whether it's coming towards you, maybe going away from you. Just one of those little things to think about. Again, just a safety being outside, also that water safety is important, and above all, just make sure we're staying hydrated. So again, a few pop-up showers are possible, but I think overall we're going to have a really nice holiday weekend ahead.